And this is just one of my favorite matchups of all time. The Norwegians, Viper in the yellow, MbL in the red, and it is Franks versus Huns. Dave, I had mentioned it before, and I'm not sure if you agree, but I think MbL's best chance of beating the Viper is probably in a tournament, which is All Arabia. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you could say that for anyone, though. Like, and when I say anyone, MbL would have a better chance of beating anyone on Arabia.
MbL's best chances against any other player, basically, is it being Arabia, because that's his best map. That's what he's played the most of. And I'm looking at his map, Tristan, and it looks open to me, but with that big wood line there, I can already envision the walls here.
True.
From MbL. I can already see them.
See, MbL has this reputation as someone who walls early, but I feel like that was always a product of the maps, right? I don't know if he's going to be able to wall too early. As Viper is going to show people why laming with rhinos on the front is
not a good idea as
not
he passes
a
by.
good idea. But do you remember when Viper pretty much lamed Hera to death in Hidden Cup 3 and how he apologized afterwards?
Yep.
I remember a conversation with him. He's like, yeah, because he said before, he's like, I think this is too strong. I kind of expected him to do something else here.
That was peak Viper, the beginning of DE. Hidden Cup 3, he laned Hera, beat him 4-0, and then came into the interview afterwards and apologized to us for sweeping Hera.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry about that. I was like, dude, just don't.
Yeah.
Don't right now. But are you surprised that he went forward, saw the Rhino, and didn't lame there? I mean, maybe because MbL is so good at defending from lames, he felt like MbL might be out there, but he just scouted the berries and kind of looked around elsewhere, Dave.
I think if he still got the extra HP as Franks in the Dark Age, he might have lamed that, but you don't get it anymore.
True. Yep.
So you have to wait till Feudal Age for that to come in. And MbL is actually walling diagonally. He's not going to wall to the edge of the map from that wood line. And this is a very MbL style. A lot of players would wall from that wood line to the edge of the map, but MbL likes his walls to be closer to his TC. And he's going to probably wall to the TC in the north too and just make himself a nice little egg-shaped map.
I picked the wrong time to say that MbL can play open too. Here come the walls. I mean, he can, but yeah, he's walling about the time you would expect on a more closed version. It's worth reminding people that there have been 5 wall nerfs since DE came out 2 years ago. So it's been walling time, walling cost, and so recently, Palisade walls are now 3 wood instead of 2 wood. So he's paying more, but he also doesn't have to make houses with Huns. And I think this is wise.
Let's take a look at Viper's map, actually, for a second. He's still got a pretty good one. He's got safe back woodline, safe berries, and the gold is in a decent enough position. And now he's going to find his final 2 goats. He didn't manage to lame anything from MbL. And probably push one of those zebra from the front of his base. MbL just finishing the wall diagonally to the edge.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. It feels like they both know each other so well. They don't even feel the need to be scouting all that heavily. MbL knows what to expect, so he's just walling up, trying to bring in the zebra. He probably will try and wall on the right side of his base too, Dave. I mean, he's got a lot to do. I like how Viper's woodlines are closer to his base, though. Everything's a whole lot neater and tidier for him. The only thing that's awkward for Viper will probably be that gold there.
Yeah, and it's not even that awkward, right? I mean, it's under a hill, but it's slightly to the side. You could potentially defend that with your production buildings in front. Does Viper know about this wall from MbL at the back? He has not spotted it yet, but he's going to try and click his scout through there, and it'll go the other way. Look, he just tried twice to click through, and that's why it turned around. And that means that MbL has finished the wall, and he's going to know that something is up. And now he's going to check the front side. He'll be up to the Feudal Age before MbL at 20 pop. MbL's going to be going up at 21.
Oh, wow. And he's going to gold now, Dave. Sick.
This just in archer range defense here from MbL?
I think so. And you know, I was thinking full walls to the side, but what MbL likes to do is he likes to go for egg walls, as some people once called it. So he's going to go for like a little circular wall in towards his TC. And I guess he just doesn't have faith that he can compete with the Franks with scouts. I mean, Franks will have the better eco for it, and Franks will have more HP, so he just wants to switch it up here.
And I love this wall from him on the other side of the Oasis, too. Instead of plugging the gap right there, he knows that it's better to wall there because he will continue chopping holes in the trees, and the archers can't sneak in if Viper goes for any range units.
That takes me back. That's the first time I've seen that. We've seen some pawns, but like having to wall the other side is a very back in the day thing. So barracks for MbL, so just a passive opening, but not exactly something you would not expect from him. And Viper, what you would expect from him. And Viper adapting and going to gold now, Dave. Whoa. So Viper says, I'm not going to go scouts against you.
Well, he saw the gold from MbL at the back. He saw MbL was taking it, and he sees the late barracks here from MbL too. So it's unlikely to be men-at-arms. It can basically only be archers at this point. And MbL is already going out for the wall on the right side too. Viper harassing a little bit with his scout. MbL's now in feudal age, so he should be able to push this away. More HP, though, for the Frank scout.
Yeah, Viper lost some of it to the villagers, but he still does have 34. And yeah, I'm not sure, because it feels like MbL's base is still pretty open, so I'm a little surprised to see Viper go archer range opening, but he's at least not playing into the whole spearman thing, as MbL's going to just continue to try and turn this into an arena.
And the thing I love about MbL's walling is a lot of players, you criticize them for it, like, oh man, if this doesn't go down in time, it's so much idle time wasted from your villagers, right? But he commits enough to get it done.
He does.
Like, he commits like 4 or 5 villagers where other players would put 2.
I can hear someone calling for a wall nerf right now. You know, we've said so many times, but players are going to find a way, and it's part of the game, dude. It's part of the game, and it's part of the strategy, and I think Viper not going for scouts here is going to surprise MbL, but it's also not really going to punish MbL's strategy.
No, I mean, he's got 2 vills working on that wall over there. He shifted his spearman and his scout.
Oop, archer.
Make sure he gets that down. Is bringing the archer back, but I think he'll be able to save that.
Looks like it. Good micro from both. He's going to pull back here. Ultimately, this is a very weak army for both, but it actually does end up mattering. There goes Viper with his scout to try and get in. MbL might let him in there, actually. I don't think we'll have any issue with that.
I think 1 wall you can fit behind,
Yeah.
And MbL is fully walled, and now he's in his comfort zone. He doesn't have horse collar yet.
Well, yeah, I think horse collar would be tricky here, Dave. Viper gets it for free. And Viper making more military. Also, good little surround for him. Good use of the scout. God, this is so... The scout HP is so fun to watch. It's so close right now.
And the thing I love from Viper here is he knows MbL is fully walled. He knows MbL... This is his only army, likely. Yeah. So he's not investing into the walls yet. He's not spending that extra wood. He can spend that on his eco upgrades or military production. And he's just going to build the buildings as he needs on the front side to secure his base.
So I feel like the way the game should work, and it does tend to work like this, is that the player who's invested into the walls earlier is going to be worse off to the castle age. That's the way things should normally play out. However, MbL could always sneak an army. If he's able to get some archers into Viper's base, then Viper will lose vills, and then that can change things.
MbL lost both spearmen at the front there, and I just checked. It was 63 extra wood for those walls from MbL versus the last patch.
Okay.
So if it's 1 wood extra, there was 63 palisade walls from him. Viper's going to pick off this last archer.
Oh, yeah, he will. MbL. Oh, the lion will if the scout doesn't, and yeah. All right, well, Dave, Viper looking good. Remember, Franks get the farm upgrades, so both eco upgrades were in for Viper, and he's just applying pressure on MbL, and MbL just wanted to wall it up, and here it is. Here it is. Look at the archers on the left. You should probably bring
missing one, though.
Oh, my God, and Viper's looking for it.
And Viper sees it.
Oh,
yeah, Viper knew this was going to happen. He's going to lose the scout. MbL could choose to bring these back in, though, place another palisade wall, and then go out the other side, and Viper is going to spend all of his time looking on this side for them.
This is so funny, man. Here comes Viper. He's like, oh no, he's going to go to my base.
Yeah, he might even go to the corner of the map.
Yeah, Viper. I think Viper will actually pressure here. Because look, he's got an archer on the other side.
I think you need a tower if you're MbL.
Yeah, and Viper is just missing the army on the other side, Dave. He just missed it.
I think you need a tower if you're MbL, though.
I would normally agree with you.
Oh, maybe with just that many archers, though, maybe you could I think you could wall behind that with houses, or just skirmishers on the hill and have 1 villager building 2 houses there. I think maybe. You can make it work.
Okay, MbL's going to plug the gap on the side where he just snuck out. Yeah, he is just now getting fletching, something Viper has had. And it is awkward defense, but MbL tends to defend quite well in these situations, as he's sneaking the archers way around.
I think one of the best in the game at defending, for sure.
Yeah.
You have, like, him, Hera, Viper. There's certain players that just know the exact timings behind things. MbL's doesn't look as pretty as some of the others. It's usually very frantic, but somehow it works.
He needs that gold, Dave. He'll want to go Cav Archers, and you've got to think back. The Viper choosing to go range opening with Franks, is that going to be the play here? Because there goes MbL with his archers, and Viper doesn't see that, because Viper doesn't really have any crucial resources there. Look, he's waiting on his gold, Dave.
MbL doesn't know where the lumber camp is from Viper. He thinks it might be on this wood line. He sees the other wood line at the back, but doesn't see a lumber camp yet.
Viper could maybe see the archers here, and he does spot it. In the darkness, he spots it. He can send his army over. Viper fortunate, and MbL maybe should have scouted better. And I don't know if MbL will be able to get a villager here at all. He's just going to realize he's been spotted and fall away to the hill. Both on the way to Castle Age, Dave. This is just... It's a matchup we've loved for years, you know?
I mean, two classic civs in this matchup and two classic players as well. And it's always been like, MbL has been the younger brother, right?
Yep.
He's always been struggling to beat Viper. They've always produced good games, but Viper usually comes out on top. Good micro here from MbL to save that one archer. Good micro from Viper fighting up the hill, too.
If Viper should win this type of a fight, right? He has more numbers. He'll probably end up getting more upgrades. He has closer numbers as well as he has a stable Dave. So he might consider going for the Knights, but MbL still has not lost a unit, and neither has the Viper. What micro is this? This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's good. Keeping the army from Viper at home, which is important for MbL right now, too.
MbL adding range number 4 at home. So this will be Cav Archers for him. And Viper, I think, doesn't even know that there's a wood line in the back, Dave. There's actually 2 big wood lines, and Viper doesn't even know that MbL's on that. So he might put a lot of pressure on MbL's forward wood line, not realizing that MbL has more.
Yeah, I guess if he looks at the map, he should probably assume there's a wood line back there.
Yeah.
It's a big area, right? Viper also has wheelbarrow, too.
Okay, good point.
That's the difference in villagers right now, plus a little bit of idle time. They both take out an archer. Viper's searching for this army from MbL with his army forward, but MbL is about to pincer him. I think Viper will get the good early engagements, though, down this hill.
Good micro from MbL to buy a little more time with these archers, but ultimately Viper clears up everything. Well played, Viper, man. He really knows how to handle MbL, and look at the greed. He says, you know what? It's going to take you some time for those Cav Archers, so I'm just going to add the town centers. TC on the right and TC in the very back.
Yep, and Monastery here from Viper to heal up his knights. Presumably, he's going to kill these skirmishers coming forward. MbL doesn't really care too much about those. I mean, it gives them a little bit more time for the knights to chase after them. It'll boost Viper's score a little bit, maybe give him a momentum boost, killing those, but not much else. Army is here on the front. MbL has 4 archer ranges producing Cav Archers, though, and he's going for a university. So Viper has to be careful not to get overwhelmed in a second.
Yep, this is all about Viper just buying time and booming. And honestly, with this army, he's got enough to hold back this number of Cav Archers for now. So it's a good spot for Viper. MbL, though, splits away, gets some shots off. Good micro from the Cav Archers. Easier to micro with them. But I don't think this is a great fight for him, truthfully. I think with the Knights being here, Viper takes a better fight.
Still hasn't lost a Cav Archer and actually cleared up 3 crossbows. So not too bad there from MbL initially. The Knights here are going to be a problem for him, and the range on those crossbows is definitely going to be an issue. And the fact that Viper has 3 TCs and MbL is all in on 1.
Yep. Now you can fall behind by 20, 30 villagers with Franks and be okay. But
I mean, Huns.
Huns, sorry, yeah. But ultimately, I think what's going to hurt is Viper's still on stone, Dave. So with Franks having the cheap castles, Viper's going to look for some cheap castles to span out across the map and control his resources. I see Viper's gold being the biggest issue for him right now.
Yep.
As he didn't even choose to town center his golds.
Well, I mean, it's tough, right? Because if you put one over there, the Cav Archers can still hit it from the left side.
Yeah, true.
And that's the only flat area, right? He town centered the gold at the back.
Yeah.
So he's going to have that safe for a while. And he actually knows exactly, he senses where MbL is coming. He's going for a university to get ballistics, has skirmishers on the hill here. MbL's Cav Archers, some of them are pretty weak, and you know Viper's going to be checking HP and targeting. Villager will stay alive, but he'll deny the university for now.
Okay. She ends up going down. And meanwhile, MbL still needs to defend himself. Viper on the lead skirm now, which makes it trickier. But there will be a lot of idle time for Viper and a whole lot of chasing for him with no ballistics.
Yeah, and MbL will see that Viper right now has 3 TCs. That monk will die, and that's the first Cav Archer and the second Cav Archer of the game that MbL has lost.
Could lose another to a conversion here. In fact, it's kind of likely. Nope,
It's
doesn't
dead.
happen. Yeah.
So 200 gold worth of monks there. He's taken out. That's good from him. Viper almost has enough stone for a castle. MbL engaging against the crossbows on the other side. He has a couple knights, but no armor for those yet.
And Viper's done such a good job with his TCs, Dave. He prioritized securing the gold in the wood line, and also having the stone for a castle is beautiful. And this army should not be here. It's at 27 minutes, and Viper still, well, I guess it's gone now. Viper still got great value from that.
Yep, 18 Cav Archers, no more in the queue right now. Ballistics just now coming in for MbL. He's going out to that gold at the front because he's running out of his main gold right now. Needs to diversify a little bit. And Viper looks to be in a pretty good position with a 4th TC coming. Elite Skirmisher is in, Ballistics is in, and he has enough stone for a castle, which he's putting on the left side.
Yeah, I like that. Viper also with 2 relics. It just seems like he knew that MbL would go all in after the walls. He knew that MbL would sneak. And since then, Viper's just been macroing away.
Only 2 villagers building that castle, though.
That's classic Viper if I've ever seen it.
And MbL is going to show up there with the knights with 2 Cav Archers, and Viper's going to have to go back. MbL still has an army over here. I think this is a moment where MbL might think about going for siege forward.
Also,
as
no
well.
armor. No armor on the skirms. Viper fighting uphill without armor on Cav Archers, which is such a crucial upgrade. Viper has to be careful. If that castle were to get denied right now, everything could fall apart for him.
Yeah, but he got a lucky conversion on the first night. He's going to get a good conversion on the second night, too. Market going up from Viper, still pushing away the army at the front. Stone is being hit at the back, but he's ahead by 30 villagers. He doesn't care if he loses 1 or 2.
Yeah, and I feel like if the castle protects one area, the army can always protect the other. Usually that's how that goes. But MbL adding TC number 2. And MbL's going to dive back here, but Viper already has another TC. He's got town centers everywhere.
And no +1 yet on the armor for MbL. So the knights are going to go down pretty quickly to the town center fire. Armor now just coming in from Viper. MbL's economy looking a bit stretched. He goes for a second TC, but Viper's gold count, his stone count, his wood and his food are looking quite nice.
Oh, man, so 5 villagers killed in this game by MbL. 0 from Viper, but Viper has 30 more. It shows you the importance of macro. Viper's got quite a few idols here, Dave. And this is going to be awkward defense, but it does feel like MbL's kind of stuck in here right now.
Yeah, a little bit stuck. I mean, second castle from Viper on the right side. Second TC is still not up from MbL. Okay, there it is.
If MbL were to have spotted that, he might have been able to deny it.
He's going to go for a forward castle, I think.
You think MbL
MbL is
will?
going for a forward castle.
Oh my god, you're not wrong.
Yep.
Where does he place it? Does he place it right in front of his
hill.
TC?
I don't think has he spotted that second castle for Viper? He hasn't. Yikes.
Well, okay, so if that castle's up, then you place it right in front of the stable, I think, right next to the house. Because you want it to range Viper's eco if you can.
Yep.
Oh, wow, look at that. Viper losing the monk. He's trying to convert the knights, and now the skirms, who still don't have full armor, are going to get dove on, and I think he's going to lose these. Yet again, Viper has the eco.
Oh, no, MbL, no.
Oh, he blocked his own foundation, Dave. MbL. Okay, he canceled it. He's now going to drop it here.
I saw a situation where that castle was on 1 HP. It got hit down by Viper's castle. Viper debating a little bit. Both players deleting their foundations. MbL now going to engage against the skirmishers. He's going to make a castle back here, but Viper's resources are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he will be up to Imperial Age faster. MbL still has this army at the back. Villager count, though, 40 ahead for the Viper.
The thing is, the castle for MbL doesn't hit the area of the eco. That's a problem for Viper. Viper has stone and Viper has gold. The problem for Viper is actually farm space. Like, he's expanding his eco to the left because of farm space. So I would have liked to see that castle go like right there, but Viper just went to stone so early. He was prepped to be able to make a defensive one, and MbL's army kind of trapped in the back. And at the castle on the left for Viper will solidify his victory for me. If he gets that up, if that area is protected, I don't see how MbL can do enough here.
I'm looking at the res right now. MbL is stalling out his TCs. Is he in a position to go up to Imperial Age faster than Viper?
Yes,
I mean, Viper can buy
maybe.
and idle and buy.
True. I think Viper might need to do that as he's looking to get stables, and the castle's denied. Yeah. He's buying food, Dave. MbL's going to try and go imp to treb these castles down. Is there a chance this works?
I mean, if you get one castle down, there's still 2 more.
True.
Assuming Viper ever gets that castle up. That army from MbL is still alive at the back.
Yeah, not much longer, though, Dave. The monk could get a conversion on the knight. He does get a conversion on the knight. All the cav archers go down. And now Viper, he can just comfortably expand his eco to the back again. I don't know, man. Fast imp into trebs when Viper has 115 vills. I feel like it's going to be a tough ask for MbL.
I think it was really smart from Viper to go on stone as early as he did.
Yeah.
And get that castle up on his main goal. Imagine if he was just playing 3 TC with military defense. MbL would probably overwhelm him. With that castle there, he can always take that gold safely. MbL forced to push in through the middle, try and get damage. And Viper with 5 TCs, soon to be 3 castles up here, and 2,000 gold in the bank, should be in a position to defend.
He's doing the right thing here. I think going imp is a little risky, but Viper is just going to go all in castle age. He's making knights, he's making skirms. Think about it. MbL's trebuchets would need to be protected at all times to ever take a castle out. And there's no way that MbL can do that and kill Viper's eco. I like this from Viper. And he's going to make castle number 4? God, Franks are insane with that.
Yep, and now he's going to be the one hitting MbL's eco. And MbL's still with only 64 villagers. That idle TC time is deliberate, folks. He wanted to stall out until he got to... click up to Imperial Age.
Yeah, probably his only chance was to use the forward castle. He is making another one in the same spot, but now he doesn't have anything to protect himself at home right now.
I mean, Viper is not up to Imperial Age yet, which is kind of weird considering his gold count.
It is weird. I feel like he's still, though, with 54 farms, 15 on gold, castles everywhere, even placing another defensive castle. Just so much for MbL to do.
MbL has Tarkins here as well to clear up the skirmishers. Lots of Pierce armor on these bad boys, even without the first armor upgrade. Immediately going for trebuchets. He's going to have them on the hill, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him like wall that in between the 2 castles and just have the trebs sit there.
Yeah, that'll take care of one castle. It'll also take care of some TCs. Where is Viper's MTC, actually? He's wisely chosen the TC on the left. Clear up for MbL, but that's also his only army. He can't really afford much more. Whereas Viper's on the way up, and Viper's committing to knights right now. Viper's got so many stables. He's at 135 vills. Just so many different areas that MbL will have to break here to kill the Viper.
MbL having his first treb out now. Viper's castle is downhill, so it'll do a bit of extra damage. I'm really struggling to see any scenario in which MbL wins this game.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing after he realized he was really far behind. I think the forward castle was good, but I think Viper just played it too good. And a lot of people will look at MbL's game and say he walled too much and that he set his eco too far back in feudal age, but you know, you kind of... There's pros and cons to MbL's style. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, and Viper just really understands that. He's just waiting now.
Like, at the end of the day, it was like 200 wood worth of walls.
Well, think of the resources the villagers could have brought in, though.
Idle time,
Yeah, like if you've got 4 or 5 vills walling, that's the issue. But and can we talk about how this is a 40-minute game and Viper has this many resources and this many castles. Like, Frank's and the Viper combined is insane. Holy cow. He's just waiting.
30 knights.
If he wants to...
Look at how many stables he has, dude.
Yeah.
He's got 10. 10 stables to produce knights from.
If he wants to, he doesn't even need to fight before Paladin. He could just lose another castle. But I think he's just going to see these trebs. Just getting his upgrades now.
Chivalry, Cavalier, 3rd armor upgrade, Iron Casting, Conscription, all coming in at the same time. MbL, just with these Cav Archers currently. Getting Chemistry right now, and that's the only upgrade coming in from him. He's producing more Cav Archers behind from 4 archery ranges. Viper even deleting all of his production buildings. He wants a wide open field to take the engagement once Cavalier comes.
It's really the armor here that matters the most. You get that armor upgrade and the Cavalier upgrade, though, and it should be the end for MbL. He does have a ton of CA. The army count is similar, and MbL is closing in on chemistry, but you would want to have... Wait a second. Is Viper just going to go for MbL's eco?
I think it might.
I think
MbL's going to come over here and see
God.
these Cavalier.
And then look at the Trebs, Dave. He'll take out the Trebs because he baits MbL away. Oh, MbL must hate his position right now because he has to defend himself. But now he can't push. And Paladin's on the way for Viper.
I'm wondering, like, you went 1 TC here in MbL's position. Was there an opportunity to get forward siege and pressure?
I honestly think
point?
the decider here was Viper not losing any of his feudal age army. Viper turned that crossbow elite skirm army into such a time buyer, if that makes sense. Like, he bought so much time with it. If that army isn't there, I think MbL floods CA a couple minutes faster. But yeah, maybe
Paladin's going to be in, and Viper can just sit under this TC. He can go in through the walls. He can send like 10 against this Cav Archer army and feel pretty confident.
Yeah. Viper knows this is over. I think MbL knows it's over, but Viper hasn't actually tried to finish the game yet. So Viper's just having a little bit of fun. MbL will probably lose this TC and realize this game is over now that Paladins are out. Good time for the wood upgrade. And MbL...
I was just about to say, Stonewall the Paladin in. It's your only chance.
Well, the villagers are going to go down. So there won't be anyone to Stonewall. And Viper's just going to send more Paladins in after the castles. This guy doesn't care right now, Dave. He's got more Paladins in the queue. MbL at 100 pop. He is in a good choke point right now for the Cav Archers.
Viper feels like he's playing with his food right now. And it would be a very Viper thing against MbL.
Well, also, MbL has 1 TC. He's at 100 pop, and he hasn't called it yet. So I think for a while there, Viper was being overly patient. But MbL is going to have to... He's the cockroach of AoE. He fights on. It's really hard to kill him off, but I think he's just going to have to come to the conclusion that this game's over. Yeah. I think it was a good attempt for MbL. I just would have liked to seen his scout opening or something more aggressive. I think walling into archers is not how you beat the Viper. I think you do have to actually open up with something in feudal age in this tournament. We kind of saw another defensive player in Hera maybe focus on the walls a little too much in feudal age in the previous series, and you just got to make military, I think. But what can you say about Viper, man? Ends the game with 81 farms. And none of that was even necessary. He would have been fine on like 40 or 50, dude. He's got eco everywhere.
I think as soon as he got that castle up, it might have been over for MbL.
Yeah, I agree. But the TC positions, Dave. Such a simple thing went such a long way for him. He had 1 TC on wood and stone, and the other TC on wood and gold. I probably would have considered town centering my main gold, but then I wouldn't have been able to protect the backside of my eco, which Viper could. So Viper's so good if you let him play defensive. I think it has to be more aggressive early, and for MbL, didn't work out. 200 Paladin masterpiece. That would have been possible if you wanted to go 200 Paladin there with that much gold. So what do we think MbL is going to do next here, Dave? He's got the... Let me look at the draft. He's got the Incas. He's got the Vikings, Indians, Berbers, and the Saracens.
I think it might be Indians here for MbL.
Feels like a good civ to go to after a loss, right?
Yeah, I think they match up decently against most of these civs here. Against Chinese, I feel like they're decent. I mean, Chinese are one of the best. It's going to be tough
Yeah, yeah.
in any circumstance. Sicilians maybe counter them a little bit. Byzantines counter them a little bit, but they feel okay against Tatars and Burgundians as well.
I think that Byzantines look absolutely terrifying if you're MbL right now. I think Byzantines can do really well against Incas, Vikings, potentially Indians, Berbers, even
Do
Saracens.
they do well
man.
against Incas?
Yeah, because like if Incas go archers, you have skirms, and if Incas go eagles, you have cataphracts.
Are you're gonna be in a position to make cataphracts?
That's very true. That's very true. That's a good point. But yeah, we're gonna see Sicilians, Vikings. It looks like Viper going for Sicilians. I don't know why players do this. MbL switches his color. He just goes to green. I'll put him back on red, I think, once we're in the game.
We can put him blue and yellow this time.
Oh, do you want to put him on blue?
I think red and yellow is a bit difficult for people to differentiate sometimes.
Okay, that works for me. So Sicilians, Dave, if this was Empire Wars, we'd be talking about how good Sicilians are against the Vikings. So this one's a tricky one for the Vikings if Sicilians can take control.
I'm not changing Viper's color, by the way, guys. Viper is played yellow for so many years. I don't want to change that. That's his natural habitat.
Oh, yeah, of course. And he finally gets to pick it, right? Because some tourneys, like Red Bull, for example, forced him to go into red from time to time because of the seed. So, yep, we'll switch MbL's color, but Viper in the south now. Viper playing as the Sicilians, and then in the north we have MbL. MbL playing as the Vikings. A civ that everyone knows is great because of their economy and their men-at-arms and their archers. But Sicilians can do quite well against Vikings if they can get their own archers out.
Yep, and Sicilians take less bonus damage, so even making skirmishers doesn't feel that great. If you're making... Good thing the Vikings don't have camels, because I've seen people roped into that decision. ACCM as Berbers going full camels against Jordan with Sicilian Knights felt really bad.
Yeah, I want to reiterate something about Sicilians, because there was a game earlier today with Vinch. Was it Vinch and Casva? I actually forget the players. Anyways, so with Sicilians...
Viper takes 2 goats, by the way.
Oh, he is laming. Okay, last time he went forward 2. Will he take the Rhino this game? No. Interesting. I guess I'll get to complete my thought here, Dave, as Viper's stealing the goats, but Sicilians need to force the initiative because the whole point is that they can't counter you. But Sicilians are not good at countering the enemy, which means, like, if Sicilians fall behind, they have subpar skirmishers, and they've got, like, pretty crappy cav counters, so... Sicilians need to be aggressive, and it's hard to balance that when you also have really good defensive options like the TCs and the castles. So I just want to say that because a lot of people think you can't counter Sicilians. But yeah, Sicilians struggle with countering the enemy if they fall behind.
It's funny because I see a lot of players going for the boomy approach with them, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think, like, if you get the advantage in Feudal Age Army, they can be really deadly. But from what I've seen, a lot of players have chosen to just kind of sit back and build up their Castle Age army. They're almost thinking about Imperial Age before they know how the game's going to unfold.
Yeah, and I think an approach you can take is you can play all in 1 TC for a while with Sicilians, and if they're faster to the second town center, whatever, you can just build your second town center a couple minutes later, and it's up instantly, so... But yeah, there was a tricky spot earlier where it was Sicilians versus... I think it was Berbers. It was actually Citeaux and ACCM. And when Sicilians fall behind, especially in some matchups, you're just like, well, they don't have a great tech tree. They don't have great units except maybe their Cavalier. 4 on wood for MbL. He's going to go to his berries now, so this will not be a pre-mill rush for him. And Viper with 3 on wood, so I think Viper's going to try a scout build here, something he wanted to do in the first game, and then just switched out of it, which worked out for him.
And like we said, taking less bonus damage. So MbL very well known for spearmen. And with Vikings, spearmen are an option. They get extra HP. They're not going to be doing as much against the scouts. So that's a good opening for them. I feel like Sicilian archers are better though. Honestly. I just think like they're you can't counter them with skirmishers. If you go double range archers, I don't know. It's
well,
tough.
The
It's
issue,
definitely tough.
Yeah, the issue is more so the eco, right? If Vikings go one range and get away with some greed, then they're in Castle Age a couple minutes faster and you're in trouble. Now, I'm just absolutely shocked that MbL has not tried to lame at all and is still at 6 minutes looking for his goats. This is not a ranked game, MbL. Like, your goats could have been taken by someone, and I just don't know why he hasn't even pushed in a deer yet. So, feels like MbL just not expecting Viper to lame, and he's done it already. Not the aggression you want to see from MbL, but I think that MbL, while he has that laming reputation, that hasn't always happened in tourneys. I can remember, like, one tourney where he lamed a lot, and that was a few years ago.
Is he going for Drush here?
I think MbL will go feudal. I think this will be man-at-arms for him. Should be at 20 pop anyways, and he's going to push in his ostrich before pushing out.
I've thought that before in this tournament, and he's debated me hard.
Well, Viper just saw the barracks.
Like late Drush.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way. I think it'd be bad. Oh, God, he is going late Drush.
I told you, dude. I told you. He did this in the other series, too. He did this in the other series, where he goes up with, like, he makes the barracks at a men-at-arms timing, and the other player scouts it, and he actually goes for a Drush. So they're expecting men-at-arms, and he's going to have the militia out faster. It's just... And Viper actually goes back to that barracks. He's going to see the militia chilling outside of that.
It's interesting because Viper, I think, is going to play into archers again. And he's going to be able to deal with that in some ways. Just to circle back to why this timing is so confusing to us, 2016, this was a standard Drush. There was none of that pre-mill stuff. Players were typically going for the post-mill Drush, and this was standard. But nowadays, it's like, if you're going to Drush, if you're going to make militia, you're typically doing it early. I mean, your eco is going to be good, Dave. You can still be up at the same time with a better economy, but it's just the fact that the militia are there later. I like it, though. Old school builds. Viper with the new school, very fast archer play. Pre-walled his resources. A little late to the range, but there it goes.
Also, the theory behind men-at-arms being better with Vikings is that you get wheelbarrow earlier, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rushing the feudal with any civ that has feudal age bonuses just makes the most sense. I'm kind of curious if Viper's going to try and squeeze in horse color. And, oh, villagers. Viper will be surprised by this. But yeah, he pulls the villagers away. Squeezing in horse color with Sicilians is sometimes something Viper would do.
Pretty tough, though, when you're kicked off the berries here, too.
Yeah,
you're
right?
gonna struggle for food.
I mean, you could make arguments that not going for a scout build with Sicilians and thus not getting horse color. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, not getting horse color would be kind of avoiding one of your bonuses. Viper's just going to do that anyways. Really good job from Viper, but the 2 extra goats definitely helped. He's still got plenty of food there.
Also, the fact that Viper is going archers here means that MbL gets time to wall. Because his archers are going to be at the back dealing with this army. He doesn't want to go out too early and have exposed military coming across the field. So MbL will be able to wall this side. He's already walled near his barracks and puts an archer range in front of his gold and probably will be able to secure this area. He's also looking for a villager pick here. Not going to get it.
Viper Scout just checking to see what's up. Still a full HP Scout. It could deny some walls there. I think Viper is going to be very happy with how this game has gone so far. The Viking player was late to feudal, so they didn't have wheel, an upgrade that he will have over Viper right now. And Viper has the archer numbers. I'm just like, what does the Drush accomplish besides buying him a little bit of time to wall? I guess nothing.
I think that's just it. That's just it from MbL. If you're in MbL's position, what are you known for? You're known for walling. Where's your comfort zone when you have a full wall?
Yeah, true.
Might as well buy yourself some time, right? He still has it alive. He's going to run into the lion, which is going to be annoying.
Triple kill.
But Viper is all the way over here with his archers. And MbL is just drawing him further and further into the corner of the map, further away from his own base.
Dave, real quick. MbL cannot see... Oh, no, never mind. He knows the scout is there, and Viper was waiting. Viper just wants to make sure those archers don't sneak. Because that's what MbL did in the previous game, and I could see him trying that again here.
Yeah, and you might think, oh, man, he forced a spearman out of him, and his opponent's going archers. No, MbL just always makes
He just likes spearmen.
I mean, even if it's Sicilian archer, you know there's going to be at least one spear. on the field.
Well, one of the most annoying things is when the starting scout can push back 2 archers that don't have fletching yet. And I think that's why MbL did that. But it's not a great feeling. And also, I just don't like the look of this gold right now. As he's walling towards it. I think with the way he shaped his walls up, I'd prefer he walled to the wood line. It's not often I question MbL's walls, but I have to question this one.
MbL also has that Drush alive at the back still. 22 out of 144 HP. He's going to get housed and he's going to get annoyed, and it's because of that Drush at some point.
Okay, fletching on the way. Viper has to decide if he wants to go in here. Remember, counter units like skirmishers, they do not work too well. If Sicilians push the issue here, force the issue, they should be the better of the 2 civilizations. And Viper's been doing that. He opened up fast feudal to go aggressive, Dave. He had to defend for a bit, but MbL looking pretty good. Could maybe counterattack here, MbL, because I don't think Viper will get through.
He's going to be annoying, though. Do you really want those things picking away at your wood line the entire time? I don't know. I guess MbL is going to go forward with a counterattack. Still has those militia. I'd love to see those militia go to the back of Viper's base and, like, kill the ostrich and whatnot. Just lame a little bit, right?
Army just passing through the pond in the center. Viper patrolled. MbL maybe intentionally just passing. Viper's not completely walled, and the berries are really exposed, and Viper is being annoying. That wood line for MbL is giving me anxiety.
Yep.
I hope I don't have to look there anymore, but I think I will.
Also, tower pretty far back on that gold. Somewhat protects the wood line too, though, so not the worst thing in the world. MbL's force will be countered by Viper. Still has the militia at the back.
We have had 1 kill and 1 death in this game, which seems unreal. And it was just the skirmisher dying to Viper's scout a second ago. Also, there must be an overchop or something, because MbL's got a villager on the other side of that lumber camp. As Viper just chases him away.
Maybe between this wood and the house, I think, maybe.
Can we just look at the units MbL has right now? Look at the top left and the top right. This is an MbL game and a Viper game. We have archers, skirmishers, militia, spearmen, and scout. And Viper's just sticking with a few units.
Like I said, though, this is his comfort zone, right? Making trash, having walls, weird walls. 1 range defense here. And yeah, he's a weird player. He's got a very unique style, but we love it.
Here come the archers. Go try to pick a villager off. MbL reacts. Playing the defense here. Let's see what these skirms can do. They have all the upgrades you would want to take out these archers. I think MbL will be very upset with himself if he doesn't kill this group. There will be another group coming forward. Viper will be on the way to Castle Age now. MbL pretty far away. Still has wheelbarrow, though. A little late to farms here, Dave. Oh, man. Can you imagine if that 1 tree wasn't there and that pocket of space was there for Viper to sit in? That would be really good for Viper.
It's also got more skirms than MbL has, so it's going to be really difficult for MbL here to clear this up, especially once Viper gets the upgrades. MbL is housed. Needed to delete those militia for sure.
Well, the spearman. Spearman goes down.
He got unhoused. That's fine.
And Viper microing both armies right now, and he's determined to keep this army in the back alive. He might even win the fight if he can keep this up. God, I'd be so annoyed right now, because what you need is...
microing at the back? Yeah, he's microing at the back, so he didn't notice his stuff dying at the front.
Oh, God. No. I bet you he doesn't even know his army was being attacked. I think he was just... He thought he clicked it back. Maybe he patrolled into it. And now he's losing the fight at the back, kind of, here.
Yep. And this is what I love to see from Sicilians, and I'm glad we see it from Viper with the archery range approach rather than the scouts.
Yeah.
Because it's so tough to clear this stuff up. Usually, MbL would have been fine here with just skirmisher defense. And he's going for another archer range, still hasn't clicked up. Viper's 20 seconds away, but his skirmishers are doing so much less bonus damage against these units. It makes it that much more difficult for him to clear this this attack.
Also, starting scout for MbL is sitting on the left doing nothing. Starting scout for Viper comes in. Oh, well, I was going to say comes in to help the fight. And it is going to assist in getting one of these kills, hopefully. Viper micros away. Gonna get out of there. And Viper's just all over him right now, Dave. This is like... The first game wasn't necessarily a slaughter, right? Viper played a lot more passive in that game, a lot more boomy. But Viper's showing how well-rounded he is in this tourney.
And he's adding 2 TCs right away. With the Sicilians, they build faster, so he only has 1 on that first TC and 2 on the second one. Going to stone as well.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like MbL is going to have it today if it continues like this. Viper has not full walled. He's just played so open. He doesn't even really seem to care. Still has a crossbow and skirm behind the wood line. How annoying is that?
Yep. We always talk about, like, momentum with MbL, right? How is he feeling? It's not like what form he's on or anything like that. He's always going to be able to play Arabia. It's just how his emotions are. And I think today maybe not feeling as confident as usual. Or maybe Viper's just playing that well. I mean, it's been pretty clean for him.
We have seen, and I don't think this is unfair to say, over the last 2 years, we have seen peak Viper continue, but we have also seen Viper drop off in some events compared to his very crazy reputation as Lion gets a skirmisher kill. I mean, it's only been 2 games, but considering this is up against MbL and what he did in game number 1, this is as clean as I've seen Viper play AoE 2 in quite a while, man. He's looked really, really good. The upgrades are coming in every single time. He's got amazing army control. All the small things, like the utilizing that scout a bit earlier, all that's amazing. So Viper fans should be really excited by this.
MbL with Watchtower defense, he does this a lot, more than a lot of other players. And he actually manages to kill a skirmisher from Viper here, and he's got his crossbows here now. Hasn't gone into elite skirm. Figured out that skirms maybe aren't the best idea here against Sicilians, and he has 3 archer range production. Meanwhile, Viper, I mean, he's not producing right now, and he's only got 1 archer range, even though he has 3 TCs. He's going to lose this army forward, and then MbL is going to be coming back across.
It just feels like these things are wearing bulletproof jackets right now. And Viper's dodging a lot of shots. It really feels like Viper could win this fight. Having full armor, having elite skirm, and having crossbow and no ballistics for MbL. This is what I mean, man. The value he's getting from this army, while also booming at home, is so impressive from Viper.
I think at some point, if you're MbL, you just peel off with these crossbows and say, screw this, man. Like, I do not want to fight this anymore.
This is where MbL's like, I'm dead, but I don't want to resign because I know people are watching and I should really try hard here.
How can you say he's dead, though? He's only lost 1 villager this entire game.
But would you not feel kind of overwhelmed?
You feel dead.
Yeah, you feel dead. And truthfully, with the army count, Viper's got to be super careful because mangonels and crossbows with Vikings and all-in plays from MbL can still do something. By the way, MbL housed.
The militia are still there. Oh, they're going in.
Oh, let's go, baby. Get forging. Let's go.
Viper's going to go to his woodline and be like, wait, what?
I hope they talk about it. Okay, Viper's fighting back. Let's go. Oh, okay. Good micro from MbL there. He'll go back in another 10 minutes. Trust me, guys. Oh, my God. Was that intentional from MbL? It looks like it was. At least he noticed it now.
He was housed twice. I'm not going to pretend like he wouldn't have gotten housed if he had deleted those militia or they had been killed off earlier, but...
Listen, if MbL loses pop space, it's just more pop space to be filled and then eventually get housed. It doesn't matter.
He also rewalled where Viper had come in before. So Viper's going to loop around to that. MbL still not going for it. He has a mangonel, though.
He's going to go fast imp, dude. I honestly think MbL is going to try and embrace his inner Leary here. With those resources, he's not going to boom.
Gotta do something about that army at the back, though. Maybe just even like a Scorpion or something. He's going for another mangonel. Ballistics now on the way from MbL. Placing houses to wall off, but the crossbows are coming in.
And Viper knows better than to let MbL complete houses. Viper will just be happy to force more villagers away from resources. Yeah, this is the army. I'm a little surprised that Viper hasn't made more skirms. I think he recognizes his food eco is so good that he can just go for cab, but he doesn't have the army to face MbL's army right now.
He's going up to him, too. They're both going to be going up to Imperial Age.
If that's the case, I feel like...
Viper doesn't have 2 buildings, though. MbL does.
Nah, he's got to go all in Castle Age here, surely. He's getting Light Cav and Bloodlines and Husbandry. Where's Viper's military going to be at?
Well, he's making stables at the back. Needs the researches in first. Remember, if he has enough stone and he's sending more to stone right now, he can build a panic defensive castle. Or buy himself some extra stone to help himself out. Imperial Age, though, for MbL. There's a world in which Viper loses this. Yeah.
Viper is floating res and he stopped army production, Dave. I think if he continued with Skirm Crossbow and just kept MbL at home, I think he would have been fine here. But he wants to go Knights, which is not bad with Sicilians, but it's not bad with Sicilians in Imp. And there's no bonus damage from crossbows versus Knights, so it's not like they receive less damage here.
Like this from MbL. I'll just kill your farms. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sit here, wait for Arbalist. Take out your food eco. Viper gathering with 18 stone miners. Even against this army, if he sends enough the villagers, the Sicilian castle will go up.
I feel like there's a world where Viper makes more skirms and uses the Knights just to take out the siege. That he can be okay, but he needs to take an engagement before MbL's in.
Is he going for a forward cast? Okay, he's going for the wood line over there. I was wondering what those villagers were doing on the right side.
Can we talk about how Viper just adds the farms back in the exact same spot because he knows MbL's not going to come back? I would never do that. I would place the farm somewhere else just in case, you know? But he knows.
All right. MbL a minute away from Imperial Age. He's got a lot of crossbows here.
Dude, Vikings? As MbL goes for the second TC, Vikings could maybe do something. Remember, Vikings don't get thumb ring anymore, though, so they do have good arbs.
Viper is going for a forward castle. He's housed now, so a little bit of
what the
MbL's medicine there, but he's sending the villagers forward, and I think that's the plan from him.
And what
he's going to see this army, though, and maybe rethink the plan.
I have no clue. Why does MbL have villagers with gold in their hands in the middle? Oh, a siege workshop. Okay.
Okay. House is there from Viper.
Okay, arbs on the way and chemistry.
TC from MbL over on the right side to help him defend. He's going to push in through the middle. MbL won't really have enough stone to make a castle to get trebuchets of his own, which is usually what you want with
Viper needs defensive castle. Okay, place the castle right there. Get that up before the arbs show up. Viper.
Oh, the Knights. MbL needs quick walls right now.
Oh, God, he doesn't know, Dave. He's running forward. I think he's microing against 2 skirms right now. But will Viper's castle be up fast enough? Viper's not going to get this castle up. Viper, why the hesitation? He has so much stone. Oh, God. Will he get it up?
Sicilians? Arbalist? MbL doing the math right now. MbL needs to run away. This is going up.
Wow. I mean, I guess Viper just calculated it and said, my civ is so broken with castles, I'll be fine. As 2 of the mangonels go down. No, 3 of the mangonels go down. And the Knights are in as well. That works out for Viper, Dave. He's on the way to Imp. I mean, it just seems so boldly calculated there from the Viper. Holy cow.
Yep. Too many things happening at once for MbL to react. Viper also hitting this wood line with some crossbows. Has a TC over there on the gold to the right.
That's
MbL looking for damage and forced to go into rams here. He's getting capped ram. He needs to do... Oh, that's the Imp TC.
That's the Imp TC. And they don't go up to Imp faster. And MbL's going to walk in here and make outposts. He's going to see the other castle. I don't think Viper makes it to Imp. I think Viper needs to cancel his Imp right now. And I think he needs to put it in another TC.
We'll see if MbL targets the TC with the Rams, though. He's going for the... Yeah, he's going for the
range first.
Archery range right now.
But then it'll be the TC, and it'll be close to 100%. I'm telling you, he needs to cancel that. MbL should go for that TC. This is a mistake from Viper.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I mean, this is wasted time here for Viper. Just accept it's going to go down and switch TCs, Viper.
He's going for a castle with Sicilians to try and save his TC. That TC is not going to stay up, though. He's going to repair it, maybe attack the Rams. The TC goes down. Imperial Age denied. Castle will maybe be denied here.
Viper has no military, Dave. He's throwing. He's throwing big time. He's now on the way to Imp, which will take another couple minutes. He's getting First Crusade, which means he'll get more infantry. He's going to get infantry out of his TCs, but what does that do as the next TC? Why would you choose that one?
What the?
Bro, Viper, you do everything so well, and then you do this?
I've never seen 2 straight Imp TCs denied.
Well, that's because people would, you know, maybe
these Rams are really
time
weak.
Around. No, it goes down, Dave. So now he has to pick another one. I mean, at this point, he's going to run out.
Next TC. Oh. If MbL's paying attention to the score, dude, he'll notice this happening. But I doubt he is in a hectic game like this. The sergeants are in from Viper.
I mean,
oh man,
Viper's definitely giving MbL a shot here. Viper's still got as many TCs as MbL. And I don't think this one will go down because Viper's got the castle fire, but Viper just needs considerable military. You do get the resources back if you lose the town center, but what you lose is the time. And Viper's going to use sergeants to make a donjon behind the wood line right now. Come on,
God.
Viper.
MbL will have Arbalists there, but the sergeants probably will get that up in time. They've got a lot of pierce armor. The stables are going down from Viper. He's making some light cav in there. The Arbalists are still here from MbL. MbL also going for an outpost on the left side. So maybe might raid there. He's got a lot of Arbalists in the middle, taking out the sergeants. Oh my, what kind of game is this? Oh my God.
This is a game that Viper has made really interesting with some really crazy decisions. I mean, if he would have just done a few things differently, this game would have been over by now, but thank God that he didn't. And MbL
is still alive, and the TC is still going up to Imp, but I don't think there's any way in which that one gets denied as well.
Yeah. I don't think so, Dave. Not with 50 seconds left. I think Viper would be able to repair it. But like Viper's eco, he's just spending all of his time relocating
the TC with the Arbs.
If he loses this one, that's insane. There's surely no way.
No, it's at 84% now. The TC fire can just kill that ram anyway. He's losing some Arbalists to the castle. He's chasing villagers to the north. Viper is still in the back of MbL's base with some units. The donjon is in a bad spot for MbL. MbL now sending Arbalists over to the left side where Viper's attempting to put production buildings. He's just stalling out all the momentum here from Viper. It's tough for him to mass military in this situation.
Until just now, Viper has one military production building besides his barracks. That's that range. He lost all of his stables. Oh no, he has the other range on the right. Yeah. I think Viper's thrown this game. It's 70 military versus 5. MbL should win this game. I mean, I know there's castles for Viper. Well, what does that do if MbL shows up with rams and arbalests in other areas?
He's only got... His TCs are in the weirdest positions. He's got one way over on the left, one way over on the right that luckily MbL hasn't noticed yet. MbL now going for a castle on that hill. And Viper has enough, or had enough for his own. Where's this other castle going? Maybe he sold it. He sold it, I think.
He needs res right now, Dave. He's just he's basically playing hide and go seek. And MbL's been able to seek him and find him and have the answer for him every single time. MbL will see the score. He'll know that Viper is screwed, and Viper being imp doesn't give him much here. Chemistry? What does chemistry do? I guess he's going to try skirms. But has he given MbL the time to get his own eco working? MbL is 63 villagers. Could maybe get to a higher number.
This is why you always put the Imperial H upgrade in the back. And Viper's played enough to know that.
Yeah.
You always put it in the back TC. It doesn't matter like what you see from your opponent. If you don't see any siege, doesn't matter. Always put it in the back TC.
Also, maybe don't stop making military when you have a 30 villager lead in Castle Age. That's like the biggest lesson that anyone should learn from this. Now I'm just curious if Viper can use his eco, which he has relocated many times, to make enough skirmishers and trebs to push this back.
Oh, MbL just found this TC on the right.
Okay.
That's terrible for Viper. He's sending 2 armies over there. Viper's trying to rebuild in that location, forced into a donjon. 2 trebs, though, from Viper, taking out the castle from MbL.
He is.
So that's good. The Arbalists at the back from MbL have not discovered the gold from Viper.
Also, MbL, until now, was at like 6 farms. So he doesn't really have food eco to make a tech switch. Normally, you'd want to make berserks or something that's good against skirms. Can't really do that. And now the donjon, as MbL finds the wood line.
Just sit under that. Like, just sit under that.
Yeah, I would as well. Viper's going to have to go for murder holes. You can only fit so many in there. Viper will make skirms, though, so I guess maybe MbL will want to run away.
Does he have murder holes already? It feels like he almost did.
With the way Viper's played this, he probably has murder holes and heated shot. Let's just put it that way. Oh, God.
MbL's finding it tough, man, to manage all these different armies he has.
He is.
He's trying... in games like this, it's tough to center yourself.
Yeah.
Right? When you've got so many different groups going everywhere, your opponent is spread out. He wasn't paying attention at the back, losing Arbalists there. Still killing sergeants at the front. Going for another TC now. He's up to 72 villagers. Viper at 92. And Viper loses a Treb over on the left side of his base. MbL
another one
to save that castle.
Another one? Boom! Yep. Another one. MbL. Wow, what a great hold on the left, Dave. He's completely out of stone right now.
Gonna find the monk. Of course, Viper is collecting relics right now. Of course.
Of course he is. Yeah, you know. I mean, I don't know who's going to win this game because it's so close, but I'm just so happy that Viper had a couple oops moments here because this game would have been boring and we would have forgotten it, but now we're going to remember it. MbL probably feels a little flexed on, but honestly, I think Viper was just too greedy, and MbL's food count's getting higher, Dave. He will have the opportunity to maybe go for other units here, like champions, if he wants to.
And he's still raiding. Like, he's on Viper's gold at the front of Viper's base now. So Viper ran out of gold completely at the back. Can't take the gold over near MbL's castle. MbL actually losing a Treb to Viper, so getting a little bit of revenge there. So where is he taking gold right now?
Well, the thing is, Viper might not need gold against Vikings. If you're able to go skirm like have against a Viking player who can't go for champs, the 70 military that MbL had before is now 40-some. So I think Viper might actually be able to swing this right back. It's 130 pop for both an imp. MbL will repair on the left again. We'll see the same thing we saw before. But MbL needs like 40 farmers, and he needs a couple barracks right now.
I mean, what is this game, dude? He lost 2 TCs that were going up to Imperial. Viper, who's usually the guy that always puts Imperial Age upgrade in the back TC just to be safe, lost 2 of them. MbL actually has 2 Rams over in the corner.
I noticed the Rams.
Is that a raiding party or what? And it kind of is. Maybe he'll deny the relic.
He's waiting for Viper to go imp. He knows how that works.
Yeah.
MbL has to know. He probably doesn't know he killed 2 MTCs, but he has to know what happened.
Yep.
Because the uptime was so late for Viper, but Viper can go light calf.
Oh, the trap from MbL runs right into the castle fire from Viper. MbL is still attacking over there. Viper has enough stone to repair or make a new castle. And now he's getting the final armor upgrade for his cavalry.
This is... If you were to get here right now, this kind of looks like a normal game. You know, they both kind of got their base. It's 100 vills for both again. And the downside of Sicilian skirms is that they don't get the final armor upgrade. You don't get a bonus when fighting with Sicilian skirms against Arbs. If you had Arbs and they made skirms, then you resist bonus damage. But your skirms don't benefit in that engagement, and MbL knows it.
I like this castle here from MbL, just kind of securing this side of his base. And he gets access, again, to these farms. And you were saying it was an issue with farm count. He's actually making berserks now.
There we go.
From that castle over there. That's not a bad option against skirmisher like Cav.
I just don't like berserks if you don't have a couple castles. That's my only issue with it. I think that making infantry is what he needs. Viper with 47 farms, Dave, and it feels like Viper's just done such a good job. Granted, he's made a lot of mistakes, but he's done such a good job expanding his eco. When things went sour for him. And now Viper's military count is climbing. And Skirm Lykov does not cost gold. Viper's got gold again. He's just spamming trash armies right now.
And I think MbL has taken this time, like I said, to get himself centered in this game, right?
Yeah.
And now that he's lost all the raiding parties forward, I think that actually helps him a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
He can start focusing on the important areas of the map. This Treb war is still going on over there. Viper attempting to raid with some light cav. MbL going for some farms in response.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? You know how in some of those weird deathmatch games, they end up stonewalling and they have equal sides? Zoom out. If you were to put a stone wall down the middle, it's like 50-50 right now, but it's not north to south, which is how they started. It's so funny to me, but MbL cannot take these fights. I know that the Sicilian skirms are not that strong, but they're still skirms with most upgrades.
Trebs go down. MbL is getting his farming upgrades. He's getting the infantry armor. He's getting forging. He just needs some time. He's going for another castle here. So he's definitely thinking about the berserk option. But he's going to lose the castle on the other side.
Oh, and the
Treb. Another Treb that's going to go down.
Oh, God. The timing on that. He probably just set the gather point.
There's Halberg.
And Viper's going to use all that gold, which he hasn't been spending, to go right into Cavalier. That will give them so much armor. And Viper has the food eco too. Viper's actually going to do this. Are you kidding me, man?
Yep. MbL was so far behind at one point, and then it switched. Although MbL still has a decent group of Arbalists here. He's got 27 Arbalists. And he's making more Trebs out of there. The castle is still alive. He's making berserks and getting the second armor upgrade.
The Rams are ramming down a house. Viper notices it. Of all the things to notice right now, you notice some weak Rams ramming down your houses. Viper takes care of that.
MbL walling up behind, so Viper can't raid with those light cav. It's a bit of a stalemate currently. Viper's just building up enough Cavalier to dive against this Arbalest army, and Halbert Cavalier with their 8 Pierce Armor are gonna absolutely rip. You've got
8 Pierce Armor, and if I'm not wrong, you also get +1 melee armor. And unless MbL gets Elite Berserk, I don't think he's going to be able to hold against this. Look at this army for Viper. And all Viper wants to do is take out these trebs. MbL has invested so much into this as MbL makes houses and stone walls in front of the treb. Wow, what a play from him there. That was huge, Dave, but I just don't know if it saves the castle. Yeah, I mean, the treb goes down. The arbs are still going to get focused down. The trebs are still there for Viper. MbL's falling apart here as he makes a tower on the right wall. That's crazy. What have we witnessed here? I would feel so demoralized if I was MbL. It's not even funny.
Well, I mean, you made it into a game, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, oh, geez. And Viper made some big mistakes, and mistakes that MbL will probably feel he could have capitalized on.
Face.
Oh!
Viper quick walls!
And MbL won't even let it happen. He's like, no. I will not give you the glory. I will not allow you to complete that. I don't know how she got there. How did she get there?
I don't know. I don't know, man. That was an impressive performance from MbL to drag himself back into that game, and then from Viper to drag himself back into that game. Crazy stuff there. I mean, 2 TCs going Imperial Age getting denied at like 60%. Like, what?
Bro, I just followed the bill. You need to see this. You need to rewind. She was created from Viper's TC on the right, and the gather point, which couldn't have been intentional, was set to that area, and she somehow waltzed past like everything. Towers, houses, market, armies, and just ended up there. But yeah, that was a crazy game. One of the best games of the day.
Look, he dodged. Dude, do you see?
I told you, she's crazy.
She took?
I did see the path she took. There was a tower there. She didn't even get hit by it.
He was paying attention to that.
Yeah, let me see. Was he paying? He wasn't paying attention to it.
He was dodging the arrows, bro, under the TC from MbL.
Oh my god, he was. What the? No way, dude. Otherwise, that tower would have killed her. Viper just needs to stop. He needs to just chill out, and he needs to play a little more simpler. That was a little more simpler. Wow, that's great. Again, MbL's got to feel frustrated. He's now down 2-0. I think he knows that he wasn't coming in here as the favorite, and now that happens. But for me, Dave, MbL just looks so weak in Feudal Age. He's playing defensive. The Drush didn't accomplish too much. He does get walls down in these games, but it just leads to Viper dominating in the Castle Age.
Drush was a big question mark for sure. And like the fact that MbL didn't go for a tower earlier on the gold position and just abandoned it is a bit weird.
He did do a great job to bring himself back. And
he only lost 1 villager until Castle Age.
Yeah. It's just the efficiency of it, man. The efficiency could have been better. And I think you have to play with a little more confidence if you're MbL. But he has notoriously struggled with confidence against the Viper. Like you said, Viper feels like the big bro in the relationship. Always has. And Viper has always got the better of MbL. 2-0 for Viper. It's worth reminding people who might be MbL fans that if MbL loses, it's not the end of the world. He will face up against... who will he face up against, actually?
That's an excellent question.
I had it. It's not Vinchester. The other player... Oh, he'd face up... No, it's not Hera. Maybe it is Vinch. Hold on, let me look. Because this is the winners group.
No, Vinch... Oh, yeah, Vinch won today, right? Against Kasva, so...
Yeah, so Vinch and Hera will be round 3, and then it will be Sito and MbL, who then plays if MbL loses this. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Ooh, this is a matchup, dude.
I see it, yeah. Burgundians, Incas.
I think Incas win here. I think Incas can pressure in the time where Burgundians are most vulnerable.
I agree with you, but if you think about how the first 2 games went, Viper had incredible eco by the time MbL ever had an attack. So MbL needs to change his approach. We need to see something aggressive, because if Viper's going to have a game that he had in game 1 and game 2, where he can just sit back add TCs, and boom, I think Burgundians will dominate.
I just wonder, like, what do Burgundians do against Eagles? You just have to hope for a good map generation and have walls down, right?
Now, this is Viper, so we're probably going to have the King of the Desert version where all the wood lines are super close together.
Gold is at the back.
Gold's at the back. Berries are at the side. No forward resources. We'll see. Will MbL lame, though? I think he's got to lame with an Eagle. He's got to try. Someone said MbL is planning a reverse sweep like he did against Hera at Red Bull. Oh, yeah. MbL's got Viper exactly where he wants him, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was totally planned. I think no one thought MbL was going to lose that third game more than MbL.
That's so true. Oh, God. What a moment that was, dude. Like, obviously, I love the online events, but I'm also so freaking pumped that I got to experience how emotional and crazy that was when I was standing next to you in person. That was so great. All right. So we're in. And
we
honestly,
go. Gold at the back, berries at the side, and 4 wood lines.
We called it, yeah. Meanwhile, MbL's berries are on forward hills. Let's look at Viper's Rhino. Okay, he's got a Rhino on the front. MbL, you've got a lane, bro.
He's going. And he can find 2 goats, and he could find... No, Viper's going to find those goats first. Likely.
Well, Viper's doing the right thing. You want to scout the front of your base first if laming is allowed. There's also an argument to maybe take your Rhino now, instead of just letting it out there like you would with a standard build order.
Does he see the Eagle from MbL? He's not going to see that. MbL is still going this way. Oh, God, he can't find him. He's going to go right through the gold and the stone, so no indication that Viper's actually here. There we go. He finds the gold.
We'll go to the right. MbL just has a feeling with these things. He's unsure. Is he to the left? Is he to the right?
Dude, he can smell it.
Oh, God. If he runs into the TC, I'm going to cry. Okay,
nope,
carpet.
There's bats there.
Carpet, and now he's looking for it, Dave. Okay, he sees it.
There he is.
Now, Viper's doubling back, Dave. Viper knows it's there, and Viper's going to try and block this off. Let's see. He's going to try and intercept this, Dave. Here comes MbL. MbL rarely fails with this. It reminds me of every time I see these two and there's laming involved, I remember the game
clip?
1. Oh, yeah, that one too. There's so many of them, yeah.
The one where MbL was laming Viper's boar, saw Viper coming back with his own boar, and decided to lame Viper.
Yeah. So what Viper tried to do, because he's got the faster scout, is get in front of the Eagle. But it did not work because MbL was prioritized. He's able to click faster. So he's not able to click faster. Well played from Viper. MbL, he will go around now. I'm on Gaia's point of view. As we will see if MbL fails this.
He's sending a villager now. He should be able to get it in.
Yeah, I don't think so. Now, the Eagle could die, though, because there's no way to de-aggro that.
Is he going to go back around the stone again?
I mean, losing your Eagle would be really bad if you're MbL. And villager just casually making a house. Meanwhile, 0 seconds of TC idle time. And the boar stops. But the villager's there. But the villager doesn't get it, Dave. The villager doesn't get it. Well played, Viper. That was so strong, man. Holy.
No. Also, another hidden bonus for MbL playing as the Incas is that their houses have an extra 5 population, which I think benefits him more than most players.
It definitely does, Dave, but even players who have more pop space from their houses need food, and Viper's going to steal 2 goats now. That's the risk. If you run forward to lame, you're not able to find your own resources, and Viper, knowing that, is looking now, and he could even find 2 more goats here.
He's not going to. MbL's going to find them, and MbL had to get Loom as well to go out there, so.
Yep. And if he would have
just... Loom, not the worst thing in the world, but still, put your eco behind.
I think we have to be critical of MbL, and he should have been attacking that Rhino before he separated from the Rhino.
Wait. Did Viper lose a villager to the Rhino?
He did. He has a death. He did lose a vill to a Rhino. What a noob.
So MbL did indeed lame him indirectly. And I mean, Viper was very busy here with the scouts. So you can understand why that happened for sure. Shouldn't happen, I guess it would be fair to say, but definitely you can understand.
Oh my God. Oh.
MbL almost killed the Rhino with the Eagle. Oh my God, bro. What is this series, honestly?
Well, that has happened before. I remember seeing someone do exactly that. They had their eagle healing, and the final hit was from the eagle and rip Rhino.
Do you remember way back in the day there was a 2v2
yes,
event or 3v3 event?
I already
or
know it.
And,
yes.
And Killer B and I think, were casting it,
Mm-hmm.
and one guy brought the boar. He lamed it from the pocket player and brought it all the way back to his ally, and then garrisoned the eagle in the TC. And his ally ungarrisoned his eagle, and his eagle killed the boar.
That was the first time I ever thought of how you could make that mistake. That was the first time I saw it. I remember that.
And he fought so hard to lame that for his buddy, too. Like, he fought against, like, 2 scouts to lame that boar, and it just wasn't worth it at all.
Oh, man. What a crazy game this has been. I think probably MbL should have got that Rhino. He doesn't get it. Viper, though, down a villager. You have MbL going for a feudal age play, which I like, because if you think about how he played all the previous games, it's very defensive. I mean, game 1 was feudal age play, as was game 2 in some ways, but this is a proper, aggressive man-at-arm build. And Viper's the one who's going to try and wall here, as he should. He already has the feudal age wood upgrade. He's getting the farm upgrade as well, and he might even go for the castle age upgrades in just a few moments.
There's the wall from Viper, and now the militia coming forward from MbL, soon to be men-at-arms. Oh, he's coming forward with Vills, Tristan. Okay.
Ooh.
I like this. I know most pros hate this. They think it fails all the time, but I think it's definitely a possibility with Incas.
Is it a good idea when you haven't scouted the wood line, the berries, the gold, or the stone?
Well.
I'm just saying, he might see that chopped tree just now, but MbL literally hasn't scouted any crucial resources to go forward to target here.
He sees a chopped tree. He sees a wall. That's the important part, right? Sees a wall.
Okay.
So he's trying to punish the wall from Viper.
But he's...
And loses the scout, which is very bad. And Viper, he's trying to pull the villagers back so Viper doesn't see this. And Viper, did he actually spot the vills?
I think he did, Dave. And there's
two
two more
now.
There's 2 more running off into the darkness for MbL on the left side. And there's a tower for MbL, which I'm not even sure ranges that wood line, but Viper could always counter tower if he thinks it does.
I think it might range once he chops a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to range eventually, especially once he gets fletching. He's not going to expect these other 2, though. And MbL going for an outpost, but Viper can see that.
And he tries to bail because he saw the bush, but Viper could see the ruins, so he'll have an idea that something's up.
Oh, no, dude. And look at the walls already from MbL. Viper could see that, too.
He's going to try and tower the berries, I guess. So he's pre-walling it. Viper sees this. Viper's like, what, MbL, what are you doing today, man? Viper will rush this. Now, give MbL credit. If he takes the palisades or builds the palisades, it's not really possible for Viper to stop this tower unless he counter towers.
The wood line is not being ranged currently. The tower is attacking the house instead. MbL coming over now with his militia. He's made another eagle.
Dave, the archer's there, and Viper's not letting the militia in. It's possible this tower never goes up, so MbL will just run away.
He's going to delete it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if the goal was to prevent Viper from taking resources, he has kind of done that in temporary cases. Like, he delayed the rhino, but then the rhino was taken. He delayed the berries, now it's being taken.
Why are you going after that wood line, man? He's got stuff at the...
He doesn't know. He didn't scout it, dude. He has no clue. This is the worst tower rush ever, man.
Oh, no. And it's sad that we're laughing because we're both MbL fans. We're just laughing because we've seen it so many times
Exactly.
before.
Listen, this is... No one wants to hear this if they're hype men, but the reality is MbL knew he wasn't favored here today, and he knows that if he loses, he's then favorite in the next set to continue to move on here. So, like, if he's down to 0-2, and he has this type of a weird opening, he doesn't, like... He's going to try. He's going to do something crazy, but it's not really the end of the world for him and his future in this tournament in the group stage. So he's just going to make it fun. He's trying something. This is something Incas should be good at, but...
Yeah, especially against the Civ like Burgundians, it's going to be behind because they're getting their eco upgrades.
Yeah,
Viper now getting heavy plow.
Yeah, Viper Viper's had the opportunity to be very greedy today, and he's taken it at every single opportunity. So
where do you go now if you're MbL? I guess he's going back with his villagers and worried a little bit about these archers from Viper. He's going to have his eagles in the middle, going for a blacksmith, going for an archer range. I'd love to see a market at some point. He's going to need it.
Yeah, the food counts right now are a little deceiving because MbL is going to need skirms and need upgrades, whereas Viper already has, like, he's planting good farms and is invested, and he has the upgrades. But if you're MbL, you make a few skirms here, get your wood upgrade. That's on the way. And he has to know that Viper's coming over. He's just kind of coming back home with all of his villagers right now. Good move to run away from this without fletching, and without the skirmisher numbers, you definitely are going to lose villagers there.
Militia working on that house. There's going to be a hole now into Viper's economy. MbL wants to do damage. Now, could you go, if you feel like you're really far behind in this game for MbL, could you go for like Castle Age and then a YOLO castle drop forward?
Yeah, but my concern is Viper might just do the same, right? Like Viper's got stone
He's sending
already.
more vills forward again.
I like that. I thought that's what I like that because you know Viper will just be castle faster. So just go for it, MbL. Just give the people what they want and just go YOLO here, bro.
Yep. Yep. He's got militia in the back. Viper trying to quick gate that. There was a weak villager. He pulls her away.
You know what bothers me about sending 8 villagers forward now is that he just sent 4 home. Like, literally, 2 minutes ago, he sent villagers home who, I guess, were having an identity crisis when they had to actually collect resources. So they're just going back over here.
Here we go again. Inca's identity crisis. P90 official.
No. I was
upgrades.
I mean, if you want to get me started on that, sure. But I was just mainly saying, the fact that the villagers had to collect resources for a second gave them an identity crisis.
Oh, Viper's going to push this, and there's going to be a tower behind from MbL. So Viper needs to abandon these farms, abandon the berries. He went on to stone a little while ago because he expects the tower rush from MbL.
Yep.
He's going for 2 defensive towers, 1 on the farms and 1 on the gold. So it's going to be really tough for MbL to push this, and he's actually scouting with a villager.
I think that's a misclick, Dave. I think he had one too many vills. He forgot how many he sent forward here. Yeah, but the way Viper defended this game was just perfect for anyone who's trying to learn how to counter tower rushes. He sent 2 or 3 villagers to stone. He gave up any area if he was going to lose vills. And then if you realize you can't address it, you just fall back, you make your own defensive towers, and you just macro. You just try and get resources to go castle. He could honestly just put 5 archers in his tower and then use that to try and shoot MbL's tower down. As MbL's just...
second tower from MbL here.
Ugh.
So he's going to try and win this position or die trying. Market is coming up from Viper. He can buy his way up to the next stage. Let's see if there's a market for MbL yet. No. He's got a bunch of army at his gold. He still expects those archers to be around. He doesn't know they're just chilling near Viper's base.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for MbL. I feel like Viper could always fall back. Just make another tower to protect the gold. These towers don't deny the gold in the first place. It'll just gain the position. If Viper's going to buy food, he's on the way up. It's pretty late for Viper. I'm pretty sure he's already counting sheep in his sleep at this point. He's feeling pretty confident. But, you know, you can never underestimate the tower rush. So if Viper doesn't get a tower up...
either.
Yeah, true.
There's the market for MbL. So let's see how quickly he can go up to the next stage. He has 200 stone to sell, but does he really want to sell it? I mean, he sells 100, bought some food, just needs to sell maybe some wood. It's ugly.
Yeah, it's definitely ugly. He's going to have to sell some stone here, I think, to get the res to go up, but he needs the stone to repair. Great tower position from Viper. It was in the perfect spot. Can MbL's second tower hit it? I guess it can, but I think the 1 villager repairing is more than enough for the next couple minutes.
Can the first tower hit the villager? That's my question. I guess
no,
not.
I don't think so. The one thing I miss with Capture Age is when you're casting in the actual game, you could click to see if a tower or something could range. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because you could hear the noise of if you could or not, so that's the only thing I miss. I would like Viper to go for an offensive castle just for the lulz right now. That would be so funny.
I just tried to tab out to the actual game to do that, and I couldn't.
Oh, yeah?
I need to go to his point of view, I think.
Maybe.
Nope, can't.
Oh, it's still... Oh, it's... Okay, so that was before DE then. Gotcha. Yeah. Do you remember when you used to be
following
able...
up here
from
MbL and a barracks again?
Okay. Yeah, he wants to go maybe Eagle, Spear all in.
Castle from Viper. Castle defensively from Viper, and MbL's going to spot this.
I actually don't like that castle spot. I wish he would have deleted 2 of those farms and placed it closer, because I'm not sure that castle actually ranges all of MbL's towers, but it's still a good idea. This is what he was going to work up towards, and MbL has to abandon ship here within these towers.
Adding towers at home in defense. MbL is about to be in the castle age. Now he's going to the chop wood at Viper's base. His archer just apparently is safe under that. Never mind. Archer dies. And Viper now goes into a monastery here and techs into crossbow. Okay.
Viper's had the castle age eco upgrades for a while. MbL hasn't had the feudal age wood upgrade. Oh, no, sorry, farm upgrade. So he's been struggling.
And that's the difference in the villager count right there.
Yeah.
Wheelbarrow and handcart, definitely. And Coustier is now out from Viper. MbL has some skirmishers and a couple spearmen and an eagle in defense.
No upgrades yet, except for the armor. And Viper's crossbow could kill all of this. And the Coustier could also help. Kind of feels like MbL just... He won't be able to defend his villagers on the front, who are very much exposed. And that's probably going to be bad for him. And also at home, he just doesn't seem to have what it takes right now against this very small army.
Like, tower defense is the only thing that MbL can do against this army. He's got one on the gold. Probably needs another one over on the other side.
Look at the right for Viper.
Coming out.
Viper quick walling the Vill. Oh my god. Saves the villagers. Saves the other ones. As he has to do everything else here.
The eagle was attacking it through the corner of the wall there.
Is the lion trying to... Everything's after this villager. Okay, lion ends up going after the spearman there. Yeah, man. Viper brought his A game today, and I think MbL also didn't really bring what he needs to beat the Viper. But I don't know. Viper hasn't killed any villagers yet. It's still 0-0 eco KD, which is crazy to me. Yeah, the only villager that died was MbL. Viper losing, sorry, a villager earlier to a boar.
MbL, his defense, like I said earlier, isn't the prettiest. It is frantic, but it works. And he's really good at saving villagers when he can. Coustier getting the charge damage. Viper, though, has crossbows behind. Does he notice this mangonel in time? He will. And pull away. Also going for a TC with that one... Oh, my God. That's just rubbing it in.
Well, I mean, it's convenient, right? I mean, he's safe now. Army's been cleared up. How is MbL not dead in this game? I guess Viper's just going for a crazy boom here as he's adding the TCs. But MbL didn't lose a single vill. He sent so many of them forward. I just keep waiting for something to die. Also,
I love the adaptation from him to like go for the extra hunt in the back too.
Yeah, true.
Is really nice to balance his eco because he's off the farms. Lots of Coustier though.
Yeah, barracks will probably eventually go down. Viper getting the armor. And it just feels like MbL cannot, even though he hasn't lost vills, he cannot fight Viper. And you almost feel the need to because you know Viper's eco is so much more efficient right now.
Yep. Less villagers, but that's going to balance out now. Oh, 2 TCs right next to each other for MbL. Okay. You love to see that.
Okay.
Viper does have everything, including the final wood upgrade now. 2-man saw is coming in, which is the Imperial wood upgrade, and means his economy is just going to be firing on all cylinders.
Viper is going to...
And he's coming forward.
Yeah, he's gonna finish this off. He's got 3 relics. He knows that MbL can't fight his army. So he's going to force some fights here. Now, there is a chance MbL's got some siege. There's a chance that maybe Viper makes a big mistake, but no, he's going to place it on the hill. Very safe castle from the Viper. He's had some issues with castles this series. Just, how do you stop that, Dave?
I don't think you can. I mean, your monks aren't out fast enough. You don't have enough eagles. You only have 1 mangonel. Your villagers aren't close enough to do anything about it. MbL's just going to fall back, keep falling back. It's the last game of the set or the match point, so He's going to keep fighting on, but it's going to be really, really tough. Maybe, like, send your villagers forward. Since you have the armor upgrade and the attack upgrade, the ones chopping wood, send them forward to the gold from Viper and see if you can pick off any vills.
That's genuinely the best way he can counterattack right now. That should tell you everything. He's got a skirm. It's not bad. He's got some forward palisade walls. Viper getting relic number 5 right now. But Viper's gotta finish the guy off here too. I mean, he's just bought stone. I'm not sure what that stone is for. He's actually mining more stone in the center of the map. He might actually place a castle where MbL has those forward villagers.
You could place it on the farms here too. I mean, it'd be a risk, but at this point, you're so far ahead.
Yeah, it's a funny one, right? Like, if you look at the vill count and the military count, doesn't feel like the score should be 1,500 lead for Viper, but it really is because of how this game is developed and how good his eco is and how good his units are. Viper should know this, but he also doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks. Okay, here's the moment. If MbL can convert every single KotD4, maybe he's got a chance, but he's only got 4 or 5 monks. There's the castle. Viper just going to back up here. He's like, are you going to stop this?
MbL is going to try for some conversions, but he's not going to rush in. He knows he can't deny that castle. There's one eagle there he needs to kill before it snipes monks. Crossbows are going in for the monks. They're not going to get them. The KotD4 are going to get great charge damage, though, and the eagles just melt.
Oh, and the monks can't even start a conversion now. So, yeah, this is rough. 2 castles now on MbL's face. He will lose this town center. Gets a few conversions here, but it looks like we're just watching a player. As I like to repeat...
Viper bought another castle.
Oh, my... Get out of my game, MbL. And MbL will. GG. Painful series to watch if you're an MbL fan, especially after you saw him play against Winchester and you know how good he can be. But Dave, he's always had confidence issues against the Viper, and Viper showed up with his tip-top shape today.
Yep.
Viper moves on out of the group stage, which is well-deserved. He has not lost a game to either Casvo or MbL. Those are the players he beat. And MbL still has a fighting chance, and I think he goes in as the favorite against Sato.
Yep. Damn, dude. Viper looked really good there. I mean, kind of some amateur hour mistakes, like the Imperial Age being in the 2 forward TCs, especially after it happens to you once. But those weren't really like execution things, right? Those are just a little shaky on the decision making. And who's going to have 2 Rams pushing? Capped Rams immediately to kill your TCs anyway.
I mean, I'm happy because if game 2 ended at the 30-minute mark, this series would have been a dud for me. But game 2 kind of saved the series as far as the entertainment goes.
And we'll see what MbL can pull out too. Because remember in the finals last year against Leary, I think MbL came from what most people would consider to be the weaker side of the bracket, and people weren't expecting much. And especially once he went down 3-0, I think. They were a little bit suspect. And then he won, 3 games in a row against Leary? So
yeah, he was second place in King of the Desert 3. And everyone knows he can play better than this. I think peak MbL versus peak Viper, maybe we saw peak Viper today. Viper still probably wins, so it's whatever if you're MbL. You're going to move on if you win the next series regardless. But holy crap, at least on my end, that was 10 hours of casting. I think you were probably more around like 5 or 6, but we had some crazy games today, Dave.
Yep. Good series. I'm glad you were here. Viper MbL is it's always a joy to watch. It's so sad too because we're probably like the 2 biggest MbL fans in the world.
No, please. No way, dude.
Are we not?
Yeah.
Who's a bigger MbL fan then?
I was being sarcastic. I think we both
probably are. And we spend like whenever we watch a set from him, we spend most of our time like either laughing at his mistakes or going like, "How is this possible?" You know, that's the 2 things. Reactions with him.
You take the good with the bad. Being an MbL fan, he has some amazing games, and he's got a unique style. But also, you have days like today, and a lot of people do against Viper. So I'm looking forward to see what he'll bring. I think MbL goes in as the favorite in his set in the future, but. Bro, yet again, all weekend we've been casting together. So fun for me. Obviously, AoE 4 came out. We've had a lot of different changes. I had the platform change, just a bunch of stuff. It just felt so good to just sit down and cast. So happy we could do it, and we'll obviously do it more.
Yeah, dude, it's been amazing. Love AoE2. Keep it alive. And thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yep, we'll talk soon. See you, everybody.
See ya.